Morning. So this is your market report for the week ending October 24th. Over the past couple weeks, we've been feeling like the market has been slowing down, that people are not as eager or as enthusiastic to buy, there are not as many multiple offer situations, and some of the houses, the days on the market is actually increasing. But the data hasn't necessarily supported our feeling. I think this week, however, we're starting to see some data reflect that. Also, there are still two different markets at work here. 3 bedrooms are still incredibly hot. Right now, there are 349 3-bedrooms available in the Tri-County area. Now, this time last week, there were 347 available, so we've seen the inventory increased by 2. 2 bedrooms, we've seen the inventory increased by 4, but here's where the change is. 4 bedrooms, the inventory is 50 larger than it was this time last week, which means people are buying less 4+ bedrooms, but people are willing to sell 4+ bedrooms. Now, whether they're downsizing or they're just making lateral moves, I'm not quite sure. But if you are a seller and you're in a 4+ bedroom, I suggest you not look to downsizing, because 3 bedrooms are still hot, and that means you're going to pay more for those extra square foot, for that less square footage and one less bedroom. Whereas moving within a 4+ bedroom, the market is slowing down some, and you're not going to get that jump in the prices. And with rates as low as they still are, it's a great way to go. But if you're in a 3-bedroom and you're thinking of upsizing, now is a perfect time to do so. The market slowed down on the 4+ bedrooms, and so this time last week or even a couple weeks ago, you wouldn't have gotten the market gain that you're looking at right now. And so market equity is going to increase by just a simple upsize. You may find yourself in a situation where you have more equity after the purchase than you had before the purchase going into it. So if you're at all thinking about moving out of your 3-bedroom, think about upsizing. It's a great time to do so. Now, we've seen 66 price decreases over the past week. It sounds like a lot, except this time last week, there were actually 3 less price decreases. And so we are seeing the number of sellers willing to sell for less go up as a way to motivate more and more buyers. There's less multiple offers on the table, and people just aren't as enthused. Now, before you start thinking that it's a wash, that this is the coming collapse, something to remember is that a decrease in market strength right now is purely cyclical, purely seasonal. As the weather turns, as it gets colder, as it gets rainier, people are less likely to go out and shop, and they're more likely to stay indoors. But also, kids are in school. People are less likely to move their kids in the middle of a school year. Not only move them from district to district, but move them from a school to another school. And so you find that people are less likely, less willing to buy, less willing to move. And that, I think, is what's reflected in these numbers right here. So they'll pick up again in the summertime when school is out, and that's great. I don't think the crash is coming, not anytime soon. Rates are still really low, even if the houses are just being bought up by investors. That doesn't necessarily mean that you as the seller are going to be losing any money. You're not about to become underwater anytime soon, and if you're buying right now, I don't think you're going to be underwater at all. I don't think the market's that inflated, especially here in Montgomery. We're not seeing the sort of price increases that we saw in other regions of the U.S. So my takeaway is, if you're a buyer and you've thought about moving, now's a great time to begin looking. By the time the process happens, by the time you find a house that you love, by the time you close on it, by the time you make an offer, we may even see market demand drop even more, and you may not be in competition like you would have been this time a month ago. If you're a seller, make a move from a 3-bedroom to a 4-bedroom. That's the best advice. You're going to get market equity instantly, and you're not going to have to do anything about it. If you're close to being underwater in your house, say that you took a refinance last year and your break-even point is very close to what you would get right now, sell. Get out from under it, because if the market does turn, if I'm wrong and the market does crash, you're going to get underwater real quickly. But if you're going to be underwater, you might as well be underwater in a bigger house, and one that you enjoy more. So it's now a great time. So I'll come back to you next week. There might be some other videos throughout the week in between. Smash that like button for the algorithm. Yeah, I know, I borrowed that one from Steven, but it doesn't matter. In any case, smash that like button if you want to see my posts again. If you want to get next week's market report delivered specifically to you on YouTube, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button. In any case, I'm Travis Neal. It's been great seeing you. See you next week.